only question was for you, Scotty. We're paying for all the inflatables out of this budget year. Because you've already paid for them. Is that accounted for? Because
We have our party in the Park 960 that those are coming out of.
Anybody? All right, all those in favor? All right. It's time receiving 5 communication petitions for remonstrances. Moving on to committee reports. We just met right before this meeting for a work session, discussed various topics on properties, changing some of our board and commission outlooks, and maybe things a better handle on permitting for premises, on who can pull mechanical plumbing. More to come on all those. So we're getting some committee to get worked on. Anything else? All right, now it's time for citizen input. Council will take any action on public comments this meeting, but may do so at a future meeting. So please limit your speaking to 3 minutes until my pink timer runs out. Anybody?
I'll go first.
Introduce who you are and where you live, please.
Yep. My name is Roger Meyer. I live at 603 F Avenue. Last year, people are going through things. This year I've put 12 tires out there. They've all been picked up. I had 2 tires left. And I don't know who this Brian is, this ordinance guy. Never called me. Hot my telephone number up. This man targeted me. If that man public acknowledges that he targeted me and apologizes to me. Otherwise,
can you explain how he targeted you?
Having tires on the curb for free. He never gave me a was. Was there a code violation? Here we go. He took the genie out of the bottle here, and you're not going to get me back in there. This man, we're going to go through every property in this town. We got a code, and we're going to get it done. I'm done. I've had it. This gentleman not going to get me back in there. I'm going to be up here every day. Here is getting my code thing. It'll be ready tomorrow. I'm going to go through that, and I'm going to know that code from upside down and backward. Done. We're going to start at one end of this town. We're going to clean. We're going to clean, and we're going to clean. He's going to do his job, or we're going to hire another one. Second thing I don't know how liability insurance the city has, but you know that pond that's out by the high school? What are we going to do when a child goes in there? I pray to God that nobody drowns in that thing. Why does that place look like that? You know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you, that thing is going to be so invasive with invasive stuff growing in that pond. We're going to have to hire a contractor. And we're going to have to go out there and clean that out. It's going to cost us more and more and more money. Why isn't that thing being mowed? Why isn't there a security fence around that? Why is there no trespassing sign? Why is there no gate in that thing out there? Third thing I have to talk about, how much time I got left.
About a minute and a half, maybe.
Okay, the Braille School. What is going on with the Braille School? You got an answer?
The Braille School?
Yeah.
What's the issue?
Issue? Look how dirty that is. You guys been up there? You see where that AmeriCorps is? There's refrigerators sitting there. Kids can get inside the refrigerator and somebody could tip them over and suffocate.
So again, we don't own the Braille School.
Negative.
School.
We've never owned a Braille school.
It's a violation. It needs to be addressed. That's the bottom line of this whole thing. That is that man's job.
Are you positive that those items are not being addressed?
Yes. talked to him. 9:01. I'm gonna be here at 9:01 on Tuesday. Now I'm gonna be over here at 9:01 on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Gee, he did not give me a reason
And
why I
I'm
had
sorry,
to.
but minutes are up.
Thank
Be
you.
consistent. Thank you for coming in, so. Before you start, Misty,
No,
no,
I want to say something without you interrupting me.
no,
Okay,
before you get
listen,
started. Hey,
what-
Misty, this is my meeting to run.
Yes, yeah, of course it is. No, it's actually ours
No, actually,
because we're the
mine.
people. Yeah.
Misty, here it is.
No, I'm
You
sorry,
showed one
but
bit of
you need to be
disrespect
quiet.
up here.
You
You
own
use any
Windling
vulgar language,
Construction,
I
right?
will
Or
have you
Windling?
moved. So let's go.
You do? You own Windling?
What?
You own Windling?
No,
Is
I
that
don't
right?
know Wendling.
Okay. How many of you guys are related on this board? Yeah, I know
Sure.
you're not, obviously. Just wondering. I mean, it's in the code of ethics that you guys aren't supposed to be related, but whatever. So I want to talk about the East School again, where it was 7/3 of 23. So have they had enough time? Yes, they have. I want something done. I want either first or what we spent on that property for the last 3 years. You guys are gonna do something.
Okay, just hold on, Misty.
You know, because you stuck your foot in your mouth. I never title hopped on that. You're lying.
That
I title hopped on my nitro,
forever
not my
because they-
property. I
I
didn't
did
give a
not
fuck
say
about
you
before
put
me.
it
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Chief,
sorry. I'm
yes,
sorry. I'm
correct.
sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Misty,
I'm sorry, Chief. I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to say that.
hey, I warned you, Misty.
It's being
I didn't
dealt
mean to
with.
say that. It's just
It's
I'm
being-
sorry.
Look,
That's the thing. All right, you apologize,
I'm
and
sorry.
I'll accept your apology.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to say that.
Misty, that building is being dealt with. I guarantee you, I promise you, it is being dealt with. We had discussion on it earlier tonight. It is being dealt with.
I guess it's being
Same
dealt
way
with.
that your property was dealt with. We are doing the same thing.
3 months we own this. 3 months we put time and money into this property. So much time to bring it up to code. Tell me, what does it take for a property to be condemned? What does it mean?
The
And what does it
process has
take?
started, Misty. We
Has it?
have to give them the same time that we gave
3
you.
years ago it started. 3 years ago.
This is a brand new owner.
It don't matter.
It
I
absolutely
treat like
does
it got
matter.
transferred
Does
over to
matter,
me.
Misty.
It got transferred to
does.
me, and I had a broken arm because of Matt and because of what the city did, and made him have a breakdown, harassing us. Okay, I got a broken arm. I asked you guys for more time, and you said no. East School. All I can say is the East School. Who you guys let, and you are the realtor.
No, I don't
Yeah,
have it listed.
you
anywhere,
were.
Misty. I was.
Yeah,
Right,
you
I
were.
was.
All I'm
Because our
saying is
hope was
it's
to find
discrimination.
somebody
Keep
that
laughing at me.
Say that again?
Him.
Who's
I'm done. You guys really need to think about paying me back. Bye. Sorry, Chief.
Anybody else? Come on, Rick. Moving on. Old business. Now I need motion approval of third consideration adoption of ordinance 1116 and ordinance amending provisions pertaining to drug paraphernalia.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Andrew, seconded by Wes. Anybody got any questions on that one? All right, roll call, please.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahud,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Bassinius,
Yes.
Breaker.
Yes. I move to adopt.
Second?
Motion by Andrew, seconded by Taylor to adopt. Can I get a roll call, please?
Bassinius,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Breaker,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item B. Now I get motion approval of second consideration of ordinance 1117 and ordinance adding a new subsection regarding yield required.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ron, seconded by Wes. Anybody got any questions on this? Is that why you're here, Robin? Did you just want to hear, or?
No, she's with you.
I know. What is her yield sign?
I'm excited about the
Do you miss the dip sign?
My dip was my yield.
Oh,
I
okay,
love
I
my
know.
dip.
And I can tell you she's very appreciative. I've known her a lot of years. She never gave me a hug until the other night when I said she's giving me yields. So, all right, roll
Sellers,
Yeah.
Cassinius,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Starkmahood,
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item C, now need motion approval of the first consideration of ordinance 1114 and ordinance amending conditional use allowance of apartment units.
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Andrew, seconded by Tim. Any got questions on that one?
If I may, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
This is for the upstairs apartments and to expand it, the ordinance to allow for more than 2 apartments, because right now our limit is just 2 apartments for an upstairs unit in the downtown, Michigan.
I do have a question. Is that a basement apartment too? Is it on a different level than the main?
Which one?
Is this ordinance just upstairs?
They're
No,
all-
it's
I
just
think
the
they're all
upstairs.
It's just upstairs.
Just the upstairs. Not.
It's not 4 apartments per building or something. One could be in the basement.
No, it has to be above grade.
Okay.
All the apartments have to be above grade. So as far as basements are concerned, no, they would not be allowed basement apartments. They would still have to be above street grade, but not on the main floor. So it would be
Yeah.
second story and above.
So no, you can't take a basement underneath the car dealership.
Wrong district.
All right. Any other questions on that? Not, roll call, please.
Elwick,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Starkmahood,
Yes.
Cassinius, Sellers,
Yes.
All right, moving on to item D, now need a motion approval of trench safety equipment for the National Trench Safety Sales Quote 118680.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Ron. So this was after the guy cleaned everything up. We got the right box. And it's actually what he's gonna get now. And this actually has the change to pick it up. So that should
We
be-
are picking it up.
What's that?
We are picking it up.
No, the change to pick it up.
Right there.
The
Well, they
freight
were gonna
cost
check it.
is, direct ship from the factory in Detroit, I believe is what Craig said.
And it'll come very quick to me.
Anybody wanna go to Detroit?
No, that- Any questions? Not, roll call, please.
Starkmahood,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Cassinius,
Yep.
Elwick.
Yes.
And Chris is the manager of the street department. When you go out there and those guys digging, make sure they're using it. Of course. All right, new business. Item A, now need approval of resolution approving a portion of Lot 3, Block 14, the Fremont, Bear, and New Benton, Benton County to the city of Benton, Iowa. Not everybody wants.
Second.
Who's first?
Me.
Andrew.
Motion by Andrew, second by Tammy.
This is a China survey that was here, and we went to planning and zoning voted to recommend council approve this, so Benton Federal Company can actually have a fire escape. So it merges the lots of the portion they bought and their existing.
Yes, they're existing plus what they're.
Correct.
Very good.
That's how that should have been. Prove the Benton County title to get what they bought, combine it with what they own.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
That would have been a whole lot easier. All right, roll call, please.
Cassinius,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Starkmahood.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item B, now need motion approval of Iowa DOG FAA agreement for transfer of entitlement.
Motion. Second.
Motion by West, second by Andrews. My understanding is we didn't use all of our funds. The state wants to keep them within the state, so they're gonna transfer them to another project.
Yes, the whole one.
Hold on. So,
But also, Mr. Mayor and Council, by doing this, it does not jeopardize us for future funding as well, straight from the state administration, the whole program for IDOT.
Has our fiscal year 23 audit been done? 23 is done.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Starkmahood,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Cassinius, Elwick,
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
All right, now I need a motion approval of quotes from Barnes Furniture for the City Hall carpet replacement.
Motion.
By Wes, seconded by Ron. This was budgeted, I believe, in your one of mine.
It was
Anybody got any questions?
not this in there.
This goes on next fiscal year, right?
This goes in this fiscal.
This fiscal year.
Yeah.
What's this all replacement? How much?
The offices.
It is the space, the copier space, and my office space.
Is it?
Sorry.
Oh, if we could get the tip top shag back, that would be awesome.
I've got an apartment that has.
Oh, and it would probably be in the same condition that was. All right, anybody got questions? Not, roll call please.
Elwick,
Yes.
Vesenius, Raker,
Yes.
Stark Mahut,
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
All right, now we're gonna discuss a little bit of Main Street Iowa program with the VU. Kids, step right up and tell us what you got.
Excellent, and I promise not to drop any F-bombs so you don't have to escort me.
Oh, that was minor.
Oh, that was very minor.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, City Council, thank you, and good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of Vinton Unlimited. My name is Clay McBride, and I'm the current president and treasurer of Vinton Unlimited. And tonight I have with me the other executive officers. I have Emily Hinkle, our vice president, Robin Martin, our secretary. I have Melody Snow, our executive director, and Connie Barnes, who's the chair of the Industry and Business Development Committee, could not be here tonight due to a scheduling conflict, but she wanted to be here as well. If you haven't, and my comments will be brief, and then hopefully we can have some time for questions. If you haven't noticed, many small downtown across Iowa and across our country are struggling. Some are slowly disappearing. And Vinton is not immune to this trend, and we have a responsibility as leaders to be proactive. If you think of the city as a house, the downtown is the living room. It's the central gathering place. It's the place where people connect, where businesses grow, visitors form their first impression, and community pride is built. Several years ago, Main Street Iowa completed a downtown assessment and walkthrough of Vinton and 3 other communities in Benton County. That assessment identified opportunities and challenges that face our downtown, and it provided an initial roadmap for improvement. But that report also served as a test. Is Vinton a community of action? Since becoming president of Vinton Unlimited in January, one of our priorities has been exploring what it would take for Vinton to earn this designation of being a Main Street Iowa community. We formed a steering committee to evaluate the benefits, the costs, the expectations, the timelines involved in such a project. And after careful review, the committee unanimously voted to move forward with the pursuit of this designation. Why does this matter? A Main Street Iowa designation would provide Vinton access to a 40-year proven framework for downtown revitalization, technical support, and significant opportunities for grants and economic development. Communities that have successfully completed this process have leveraged nearly $3 billion of investment into their downtowns. However, this opportunity comes with a commitment. It requires a part-time employee dedicated to the program, a strong nonprofit structure, a 3-year financial commitment, dedicated volunteers, and a demonstrated history of our community taking action. The next application window opens now, with submissions due in June of 2027. Our goal is not just to apply, our goal is to earn the Main Street Iowa designation on our first attempt. Vinton Unlimited's board believes in this project and has voted to approve the first $20,000 towards this project. We are asking the City of Vinton to provide a matching $20,000 investment that will help carry the project through the application process June of 2027. Vinton Unlimited will recruit the position, manage the employee, provide office space, and the resources needed to make this successful. If Vinton earns the Main Street Iowa designation, we're also asking for a pledge of ongoing financial support of $40,000 per year so the program can continue to succeed, meet the requirements of Main Street Iowa, and provide long-term value to our community. This is not just an investment in downtown buildings. It's an investment in our businesses, our residents, our future workforce, and I believe it's the future of Vinton. Thank you for your consideration and for your continued commitment to both Vinton Unlimited and to our community. Any questions?
Well, since it all seems to fall back on the financial parts of it, I wish this would have come up when we're doing our budget as far as fiscal year that's already been put in, that we already had to squeeze and, beg, borrow, and plead just to come into the black.
I met with Melissa and Chris the other day and learned of the January-ish start of the budget cycle and processing in the fiscal year starting in July. I assumed it was a January to December fiscal year, so.
Yeah. I 100% support what you're doing. Personally, I do. I think it's a great idea. The city should support it. I just don't know how that financial is going to be done. I don't know if we can find a way to finance it. I'm sure there's some avenues.
There are some avenues that can be explored. Obviously, to be frank, it would be an amendment of the budget, but it's not, I'm not going to say it's not impossible with the mayor and council.
I got a couple thoughts on that, but I guess my biggest thing is, yes, if we're going to pledge $20,000, I'd like to see how it's going to be spent. I just don't want to get $1,000. We'll see you next year when you want another 40. What's the plan? How to spend it? How it's going to be allocated?
Yeah. So
what's it going to do?
So the part-time position, we would recruit and hire that now, and start the application process, which is a very lengthy process. There's a lot of questions, a lot of research has to go into the answers of those questions. Main Street Iowa recommends a minimum of 6 months for the effort. So if we started recruiting now, it's going to take some time to get that person onboarded. But that $20,000 that Vinton Unlimited is willing to put up, plus your match, would essentially fund that part-time position through June of next year. So that's where we hit the fork in the road. We either earn the designation or we don't. It's also important to understand that Main Street Iowa only accepts application every 2 years. So if we don't get our application in by June of next year, we're in a holding pattern for 2 years, and the benefit realization is pushed off 2 years. And my fear is we're going to have even more storefronts downtown closed and shuttered by the time we start getting this economic windfall coming our way. So to answer your question, Bud, it would be to pay for this part-time position, and it is the absolute requirement of Main Street Iowa that you have a part-time person for communities of 5,000 or less. If you're 5,000 or more, you have to have a full-time person. And in speaking with the Main Street Iowa organization, we're right on that kind of bubble. And
4,900?
Yeah, they said that we could do it with a half-time person. So that's why our ask is not even more. So we would go with a part-time position. And we also discussed as a committee and as a board, whether it was appropriate to have our current full-time person, Miss Melody, restrict her duties, half of what she does today, and free up that half of her time to play this role. And we all agreed that that was not in the best interest of Vinton or Vinton Unlimited. We want to have Melody continue to do the work that she's doing on a full-time basis and add this person that is dedicated and focused. And again, we want to get this done on the first attempt, which I did talk to Main Street Iowa about that. I wanted to know if there were statistics around how many communities apply and get it on the first attempt versus those that don't. And they do not keep those statistics. They thought it might be a good idea that they do that going forward. But that conversation then led into, well, why do communities not get it on the first attempt? And she gave me quite a few very good indicators or red flags that we would want to avoid. So I hope that answered your question. It's essentially to fund the part-time position that's required of the program.
And once we get the designation, yes, for another $40,000 a year to help maintain that. Is that for that same part-time
That
person?
continues to pay that part-time person, yes.
So we have to have somebody on staff as long as we get that designation.
Yep, absolutely. For as many years as you want to continue to be in the program, you have to continue to meet the requirements, and that's the part-time person would be a requirement.
So the payback on the $40,000, what do you see?
Well, the communities that have been in this program, and including Belle Plaine, which they just recently dropped out of the program, they've been in it for 10 or 12 years, to my understanding. They received millions and millions of dollars in grant money. It's about historically preserving your downtown buildings. It's about new jobs. We have statistics on the Main Street Iowa site that shows how many new jobs and new companies were formed because the city earned this designation. Coincidentally, I was in Mount Vernon a couple of days ago. We were serving food at the Cornell College, and I drove through Mount Vernon on a Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Every single parking spot had a car in it. People were walking around. Businesses were open, and it was just live. So Logan looked up on his phone, is Mount Vernon a Main Street Iowa community? Guess what? They are. I drove through Marengo a couple weeks ago. They're not a Main Street Iowa organization. Like I said, Benton County currently doesn't have one. They're struggling. They're struggling bad. So we, and you can just look out on our Main Street here. I know we don't call it Main Street, it's 4th Street, but there are a lot of open, vacant buildings. And it's going to get worse, is my fear. So the payback, we continue to thrive as a community. We continue to have a strong economic framework. And we start getting grant money that has historically not been touchable by Benton, to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. So I look at it as a small investment to get huge return, but it is a long-term game. It's not a short-term, you're not going to get this in reinvestment right away. It's going to take years. Maybe the last thing that I'll say is the report that I mentioned that Main Street Iowa did on Benton. There were quite a few recommendations on what Benton could do to get started, even without being a Main Street Iowa designation. That was a test. I use that word carefully. We need to show that we're knocking some of those things out, or we probably will not get the Main Street Iowa designation, because they're going to say, you're not a community of action. We gave you some recommendations and you did nothing with those recommendations. That's not going to bode well for us. So I get it. It's a chicken and the egg situation. We need funds to do these projects, but they want the projects done so we can get access to the funds. I get it.
You only got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you. You present very well. I don't know, just because what you followed up, or just because you're just a good presenter. But anyhow, you came across very well.
30 years of corporate life and presenting project things to corporate boards. This is identical.
So I guess moving forward on that, I mean, of course, you'd have to find out some sort of funding if it's even feasible that we can be able to do that. And what's going to happen?
So just a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
Part-time employee, what would their job responsibility once if the application is granted?
So
Like,
once
if
we were to get the designation,
Yeah, what would their job responsibility move to toward that?
so their job would be to basically be the hub at the center. They would be in constant communication with the resources at the state level. They would be going to a lot of training, bringing that back. They would be scheduling meetings, coordinating projects. Once we start getting this money, well, then we have to do something with it and we have to implement it. And this person would be the center of the hub, keeping that constant, fuel in the engine, keep it running. So it maintains that focus, and we don't lose the momentum, and we don't lose all the benefit that would come.
What are some of the items that they identified on that study?
One of them, I find it was a little ironic, where the City of Lights, says it on this sign right in front of me, they said that our downtown was not bright enough at night. So they must have walked around at night. I understand this happened 4, maybe 5 years ago. They talked about signage, bump outs. And when I say signage, like, how do you get to the library? How do you get to the park? Like, when you come into town, is there good, clear signage for somebody to know where to navigate and get to things in our community? Bump outs on the corners for better pedestrian flow and parking. A lot of these things I know have been taken up by the Visioning Committee, which I believe, Scotty, you're on that, and others. So there has been progress on some of these things, but I do know it's the things that haven't moved forward, it's usually due to funding. Either funding, or we can't do 400 projects at the same time. I mean, there's a capacity issue as well.
And mainly infrastructure projects is what they're pinpointing.
Yeah.
And then the only other question is, you said that Bill Plain was in it for like 10 to 12 years. And what was their reasoning for exiting the program?
I think they felt that you get it's a return, right? You have this huge return, and then you start to have a diminishing return over time, and the financial commitment, right? You have to have a part-time person, so there's expenses to continuing to be in it year after year. And I think their realization was at some point you just become where you're just not getting the benefit to offset the expenses anymore, and that's probably true with any project. It has just a shelf life. And after that shelf life is expired, it's time to move on. And now maybe in 5, 10, 15 years, if Main Street Iowa is still a thing, maybe they reapply and get back in the game again because they feel like they can get that value. But my guess is they've squeezed the juice out of that as much as they can.
And they'll still reap the benefits from it for
Yeah, I mean, once you learn the framework, the techniques and the tools and the resources that are available and how to tap into those resources, yeah, it probably becomes pretty repetitive, kind of lather, rinse, repeat every year. And how much do you need a dedicated person, or do you have enough people who have been cross-trained and can carry that torch and do those things without requiring another part-time person?
Answers my questions.
Anybody else? Well, way to kick it into our court, so.
Well, and one thing I will offer to help, if it helps, we discussed it the other day, because of the fiscal year issue and the budgeting issue, I get that, it's real. It is possible, I'd have to go back to my board, but it is possible that Vinton Unlimited could cover that second $20,000 and get us through June if there was a commitment from the city that once your fiscal year kicks in, you have that budgeted and you essentially pay us back. We would have to defer a capital project to do it. And again, it would require my board's vote of approval to get there. But I think there's another avenue we could approach and get this done. And everybody's budgets would be happy.
Okay, you were selling it pretty good, but now you just kind of pulled away there. So you should have left it at, you guys need to find money.
Well, yeah, I mean, we need to find the money. And we could defer some projects if it helps.
Let us take a look.
Yeah, you guys can figure that out, and I just wanted to throw that out there as an option if you decide to take advantage
I
of it.
appreciate that. I really do. No, I think it's a great program.
Well, thank you all for your time tonight.
Thanks, guys.
All right, moving on to item E. Now I need a motion for approval of business improvement grant for 103 West 4th Street, Cameron.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Wes.
I'm gonna make some enemies on this one. I don't mean to, but we had a memo last time that there was a grant for Camerons. I noticed that there was no signatures on it on a Tuesday. I requested those before the meeting, never received them. I was told at the meeting that we had them. I did not get them until, again, this week when we received another application for the same thing. Obviously, there was a clerical error, but I don't feel like this is in the spirit of the grant because each business is only allowed one in a fiscal year. And this is back to back. The application process is not difficult. And I just feel like there was some skirting around to make this one happen, and I hate to single those guys out, but I don't think that we can grant it because this is the same request that we had last week, but for a different building. So
Aren't they two different?
same business owner, different property owner. I had both accurate applications.
So my mother was ill in the hospital. I
See
filled out
your-
the application and I made an error. The first application was for Hinkle Creek. 118 West 4th Street. Paul and I owned that building. Unfortunately, the week my mother was in the hospital sick, we had 3 air conditioning units go out, 2 at Hinkle Creek, 1 at Cameron. filed the paperwork incorrectly at Hinkle Creek. That was the application, and I put Cameron's name on it, but I believe Hinkle Creek's address, the second application was from Cameron's, and my dad actually owns that building. And I know in the past, there have been businesses in Vinton that the same owner owns two separate buildings, two separate businesses, and they've been granted the application.
Yeah, Claire, you can bring me into that.
Okay, yeah, Emily, for her bridal store, applied and got it, and for Hilda's, we're two separate businesses. One sells men's and women's clothing, the other is women's gifts and home decor across the street. One's called Cameron's, one's called Hinkle Creek. I did make a clerical error, but the buildings are owned by two different people. You can look at the abstract. Kenneth and Karen Hinkle own 108 West 4th Street, and Paul and Carolee Reeves own 118 West 4th Street.
Is that spelled out in the grant that if you own the
So
same
you're
person
only,
cannot?
you're only allowed one. It just, I mean, that my main thing is I asked for the clarification, I didn't get it,
Yeah.
and then I got this one, and it's like, and I hate to single you out. I really do. I know you probably don't think that, but I hate to single you out. But this is like a back-to-back. Like the program guidelines were made in 2020. You know, yes, the amounts have been increased. Yes, the money's there. We want the businesses to use it, right? But it's simple paperwork that's not getting done, and I don't know. Like, you can argue tooth and nail. Has anybody abused it? No, I don't think anybody's abused it. Has it been utilized the full capability? No, it has not been utilized. But like at the same sense, I just got one last week that said Cameron's. I understand that you didn't write the memo. Chris wrote us the memo, and it was inaccurate. I asked for the information. I didn't receive it. I got it this week, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And unfortunately, you're the one that gets singled out on it. Like that's the main.
I just don't think that's fair. Like the application, when you fill it in line, it leads back to you if you miss a place that's to be filled in, and it didn't. It took my application. In fact, I was leaving to go to the hospital with my mom, and I text Melissa to say, "Did you get it?" And she said, "No." I went back in, signed again, and she said, "Got it." So the application, there's an error somewhere, but it's not necessarily on the user end. That, I don't know what else to explain other than it won't take it if you don't have all the required things. I can show you the text on the phone. Just because there was a miscommunication maybe between you and Chris, that's not my.
It does not fall on your shoulders. I never said it fell on your shoulders. I said that unfortunately I have to single you out because it's your application that's in front of me. I did not say this falls on. This is not your error.
So I get punished?
The grant program, the grant program doesn't allow two within a fiscal year. We talked about moving it to a different date outside of this fiscal year, but in my opinion,
for
it doesn't
example, like if Marv Roster, your grandpa's air conditioning unit went out, could apply. If Dusty's air conditioner went out, he could apply. They both own their same building. How's that different from my dad and I? I'm just asking.
Yeah, it's not the building owner that applies for the grant. It's the business owner.
It says building owner in the application.
You have to put the building owner has to sign off on it if it's not the business owner. So the business owner is who applies, but if they are not the owner of the owner of the building also has to sign off on it. So the example would be, I own 4 buildings, one business. If my air conditioner goes out in all 4 buildings, I can't apply for a grant for each building.
But Emily did, and has been
yeah.
approved. That has been approved in the
I have
past.
2 separate businesses, but I own both buildings. I did receive
25%
grants for Nature's Corner and the Bridal Garden in one fiscal year, and then again the next fiscal year.
And I obviously I wasn't here, and I'm not saying that is correct. I'm saying this is what I have in front of me. I'm the one that has to vote on it, and I know that I'm not going to make friends, but I have to be the one that do it.
So why are you denying that? I'm still confused.
Because the business owner is the one that applies for the grant. If the grant says that a business owner can receive one grant per fiscal year. We just approved another grant last week. You signed as the business owner on both applications. So to me, it doesn't look like that is the gist of what the
It's not going off of the property owner.
No, it does not go off the property
It goes
owner.
off of
Business owner.
business owner. Okay.
And if you got two granted,
That was,
obviously it slipped through the cracks. So
I wouldn't say it slipped through the cracks, just
It's two
because,
different businesses.
right,
yeah.
Just like Eagle Creek's a business and
Yes.
Cameron is a business.
yes.
Different businesses, different buildings.
Yes.
I say we vote.
Anybody else want to discuss it? No, I will call for a vote. Roll call.
Cassius,
I say give it to him.
Ellick,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Stark Mahood,
Yes.
Sellers.
No,
We need to get it cleaned up.
100%. I asked that on the last one, and it needs to be done.
Alright. Moving on to item F, 9 approval of special event application for the Pink Heels Ride, July 11th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Andrew. You got any questions on that? Want to speak on that?
It's the same old stuff we do every year. And this possibly might be the last year, but I will positive, but with our other, so we might appreciate you guys very much for letting us do this in the past. It's a
Good
good
call.
benefit.
Very good call.
Happy to do it.
Have fun. All right, item G, 9 motion approval of special event application for the Benton Cruise, September 19th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
By Tammy, seconded by Ron. Anybody? Always a great display.
Yes.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Now I need a motion for the mayoral appointment of Courtney Elliott to the Benton Parks and Recreation Board for term ending June 30th, 2029.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, seconded by Wes. Anybody got any questions on that? None. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Perfect. Item I, now I need a motion for the mayoral appointment of Daniel Marshall to the Benton Parks and Recreation Board for a term ending June 30th, 2029.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wes, second by Andrew. Any questions? Not. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, moving on to reports.
Council, two things I have. Number one, I talked with your and the financial analysis is finished for Sewer Equipment of America, and that's been submitted to the attorney. And next week, sometime, we're supposed to get a draft of our developers agreement for Sewer Equipment.
Did we ever find out the members of LC that owns that building?
The members of the LLC, I do not know about the members of the LLC, but I was assured that they are registered as they are.
Yes, they are, but I asked who they are.
Right, I do not have that answer yet, but
We did ask for transparency when we agreed to that.
We did.
yes,
That's important.
yes. This is a draft for development. So, just wanted you to know where I was at.
LLC's registered in Iowa, registered in Illinois.
No, it's registered in Iowa.
I'm sure they'll work it out too with the officers and owners.
I tried.
Can't see it. Ask the Sewer Equipment people to send over a list of their officers and owners of the LLC, please.
Okay. And one last thing is I had a meeting today with ECOG and with Jason Cox as well. And there's available for Mr. Cox $400,000 in CDBG upper story grant out there award that Mr. Cox would like to apply for. However, there's been a rule change in CDBG that does require a local match for that. The local match is 10%. Timeline would be rather tight, but however, if awarded, the grant would be for an LMI benefit. So the 3 or 4 units of the apartments would have to go to LMI purposes.
LMI is low to moderate
Sorry,
income.
low moderate income. Sorry, low moderate income. We line is August 16th for this public hearing for application. So just wanted to know council's thoughts about this.
I'm telling you, we're not a money tree.
I understand that, Mr. Mayor.
This is the $40,000 commitment.
Correct. However, it would be utilized because of the LMI component of that. It would be utilizing existing incoming tax increment financing funds.
How long does that stay? Low moderate income?
Typically, it's 5 years.
5 years.
Typically on those applications.
He needs this by when?
Well, it would just be a commitment from the city for the application. We have to set a date for a public hearing at the next meeting to discuss it.
I can't justify
So,
it.
I can't justify it either. We just had somebody come and ask us for $40,000 for something that's gonna benefit the entire city.
Okay?
If he wants to benefit
There's a
himself.
message back to Mr. Cox.
That's me.
I just
That's
see.
poor timing,
too.
but that's the way I look at it.
Okay.
If we're gonna come up with $40,000, I'd prefer to the entire city's benefit.
Can you run the numbers on what the tax would go up and like what the city would net?
For
Like, get it-
increased valuation, that I do not have. That would actually come in play with the actual application.
For 4 condos that won't be complete for over a year, it'd be a while before we'd see any return.
And they have to be affordable.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's gonna lower that increment.
That's unfortunate.
That is.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Can we get a grant to take care of our,
Well,
and their share?
well, that's what I was thinking about as far as your tax increment, because of the down payment assistance would be paid off in the next fiscal year anyway. That's the remainder of that. You still have to have a project for the remaining funds to go. Because it was a housing component anyhow, and it was a LMI component before, it would make the same kind of match.
I don't know, I still struggle with it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
40,000 for,
The potential of millions of dollars in grants for half that amount the first time, and then
More timing.
yeah.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
we're good. I don't know how you-
Lovely. How we doing today?
My turn? Well, in response to the earlier comments, I was given a list of 6 properties today, and I was able to look at 2 of them after 4 o'clock on my own time, and did see the refrigerators that were mentioned. They're stacked neatly and this and that, and I can almost guarantee that they weren't there yesterday. I saw them move stuff in and out, and there's a lot of things to look at. Obviously, when you're driving down the road, you know, whether you're looking for grass or whether maybe they mowed but they didn't weed eat, maybe there's junk, maybe they're building a deck and didn't know about it. You know, there's lots of different things all the time. But again, I have no problem people bringing me concerns, but trying to be constructive and know that I have building permits to take care of and everything else. But I have gotten, I feel, a good amount of trees trimmed past week or two as far as the intersections for visibility. And as far as trying to be fair with people that I talk with, I've worked with Tyson's, I've worked with Elwick Electric, I worked with the Mexican restaurant. They've got a new restaurant coming in, by the way, somebody out in Marengo. And across the street, they're gonna tear that building down and build a building for like weddings and showers and stuff, so that'll be a nice addition to the town. We got a new house being built out in Anderson Creek that should be breaking ground, I think, in a week or two. But yeah, since I've been here in 5 months, I've currently opened 196 cases total. I've got 37 still open, so I'm active as far as who I've worked with, and that's all I got.
I just like to make a comment. I spent 2 hours with him on Tuesday. He went through his system, showed me the stuff that he is. He's very active. He sent me a note with this, so there's no bias there. I really work that you're doing. I obviously hadn't seen that list of work until then, but I can tell that you're going through it with a clean lens, and I've noticed some of the things that you've had cleaned up. I didn't know that you requested them to be cleaned up, but when I drove by, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of nice. And apparently it wasn't just good nature that did it, so I would say just continue to do what you're doing, and it's not a fun job. So you definitely have a very, very, very difficult job. So I think you're doing a good job with as new in the position as you are. So
You have our support. So, never forget that. So, Chief left you to have nothing. Just once. Once.
I could be doing that the whole time. Just say I don't. All the concrete over at Qualm Park is done. So I've talked with Electric and I've been to get cable ran for an additional camera over there. Waiting on playground tiles, but the sidewalk up to the shelter is functionable. And we just need to do some landscaping and seating around there, but that's done. Mini golf course is out. When they took it, we're waiting for rains to settle the kind of pond in the middle, so we've gotten those. So Schminkies are going to come back and bring in dirt and level it, but we're just waiting on that. So, and then Party in the Park, July 16th, 17th, 19th. So, getting everything geared up for that. That's all I got.
I'm here. For Benton Unlimited, well, we are helping Scotty with plans. The parks along the library on the story walk going on up at the Riverside. Punch cards start like in 2 days for the month of July. It'll run. That's to encourage people to stay here in town and shop and spend their money here to help our economy. We have a community golf tournament that's coming up in July 10th. The Boom Fest is going to continue. We have, I've got 70 vendors already signed up for downtown, which is a decent amount for being end of June. And so we're moving forward with that. We did not change the name. We're just keeping it Boom Fest. Hopefully maybe someone someday will bring back fireworks. There is another event that is in the works for October that we are working on, that I will probably be sending you a special event shortly. And I think that's about it.
I'd like to add, if I could, about the downtown thing. I think it would be a great idea. I lived down in Mount Pleasant for 13 months when I was working in Burlington, and they've got a beautiful downtown, similar to what he was talking about Belle Plaine. And I Googled just now recently, Mount Pleasant is part of that, Independence is part of it. Manchester is not, but they're part of the First Impression program, which is something pretty similar to that. All three towns look really nice. And for me, being an outsider, one thing that I always liked about Benton was the downtown and how it has maintained its stuff. But it definitely could be, get a little.
I find it hard to believe, Bill, that they said that it's not bright enough.
That could be before the lights.
Had to have been.
No, it was actually because of the canopy, the awning.
Under the awning.
Yeah, under the awning, they were saying that there's not enough light. So
Okay, well, that's more sense.
but that was what they said in the report.
People are blinded at night trying to sleep. Anything else? Good? Melissa?
I would just add, we had a handbook committee meeting last week with department heads and Dakota and Zach. I'm hoping to get a compilation and put a handbook in front of you for approval at our first meeting in July is my goal. So a few more reviews from the group and then we should be good to go.
Council, anything? All right.
Schedule those meetings.
Oh, we need to schedule one of them.
Yeah, I'll get mine, set mine up through email.
Does anybody have a preference? Do you like them before a meeting?
I prefer mine at 6 a.m.
I'll be zooming in.
But that's all right.
This ain't gonna be another furnace thing, is it? Good and welfare, our sincerest condolences to the Palmer family. So keep them in your prayers with their loss. Just a fair weekend, so please go out and enjoy that. Promote the city of Benton the best you can. You make anything else? Now I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Wes. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.